Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the Crochet Baby Squared Blanket. There are 3 versions of this particular blanket. The only difference between them is that there's a different color. So today I'm going to show you how to be able to do this. There's a lot of writing on this particular pattern, but the reality is that once you get started and understand this pattern, it comes very easy and lickety-split. So let's begin to look at the diagram first, and then I'll take you in to show you how to do the stitch work. So here is the diagram on page number 2 is the written instructions. Don't be afraid of that. It's really not a big deal. And when you look at it from this point of view, it's actually pretty easy. So what you have is that this is typical granny square. You'll see that you got your 3 double crochets, you got your corners, but what's the difference? Well, in rounds number 3 and round number 6 and so on, you have a breaking up of the color. So what you see in the particular pattern is that this here is the breaking up of the color. So rounds 1 and 2 will be the same color, and then we break it with something else, and then 4 and 5 is the same color, and then we break it with something else, and you keep on going to as big as you need to go. So it's a really neat idea because you can actually really play a lot around with these. This is like the typical modern granny that Jeannie designed, and the only difference between Jeannie's and this one is that you'll see that there's a typical granny look for 2 rounds solid and then it breaks up. Where in Jeannie's is that you see that it's this round here and then a typical granny, and then this comes back in a line. So what I'm telling you basically, if you really want to play with this idea, you can go 4, 5 and 6 to be the same idea as what you see here and then break it up. It really doesn't matter when you apply these single crochets and chain 2. So when you're ready for a final border, you want to finish it so that it makes absolute sense to you. So you want to finish it so you'll see that there's a chain 2, and then the next round is a typical granny, and then you finish it off like this. So this is a slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, and you can see where it's positioning for you to go into. So today I'm going to show you how to get started, and then I'm going to leave the rest for you to be able to do in order to get to the bigger size, but I'll show you how to just to maintain this pattern as you go in order to get yourself started. So what they're suggesting that you use is Caron Simply Soft with a 5.5mm size eye crochet hook. You can use any size yarn and any size hook as long as it complements each other with this particular design. So it's very forgiving, so you have a lot of options. We're going to create a slip knot to begin. So we're going to do that, and we're going to chain a total of 4. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and insert the hook into the beginning chain just like so, and then just yarning over, pulling it through and through to create the center circle of your blanket. So let's move on to round number 1. So round number 1, we're going to keep the same color that we want, and whenever we move up a round, it's not like a typical granny where we chain up 3. We're only going to chain up 2 when we move up. So chain up 2 only, 1 and 2, and then put 2 double crochets into the center of that ring. We're going to work our way around that ring. So this is 1 and this is 2. And now we're going to chain 2. So whenever we turn a corner and it's a typical granny square look, it's always going to be chaining 2 only. So whenever we get to that single crochet chain 3 section, that's when it will change. But for now, it's just chain 2. So coming back into the center of the ring, I want you to double crochet 3 more times. So that chain 2 and 2 double crochets that you started with counts as 3 double crochets, and so that just gets you started on the round. Once you hit another corner, just chain 2, and then come back into the center of the ring and put in 3 more double crochet. Just like that. Then you're turning a corner. You can see that 3 sides are now done, so chain 2, and then coming back into the center of the ring, and we are going to come all the way around in there. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. So the difference between this round and other typical grannies is right here. So instead of chaining 2 and slip stitching, it's asking you to half double crochet into the top of the first chain 3. So just wrap the hook first, going over, pulling it through, and then pull through like this. And so why is it asking you to do that? It's so that you're right in the middle of the corner. So this Jeannie normally does that for her designs as well. So let's move up to round number 2. So right where you are, you're just going to chain up 2. That counts as a double crochet, and then you're just going to double crochet twice into that same one to get started. Right into that same space, and then you're going to jump over to the first corner. So chain up 1 to jump, so chain 1 and then come right into the next corner and do 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, to turn a corner, do you remember what it is? You chain 2, and then coming back into the same corner, 3 double crochet. Very good. So now you're going to chain 1, and now you jump to the next corner. So as you get bigger, the corners get further apart from each other. So when we're starting right now, it's very easy. You're just playing really quite easy. It's the whole thing is easy, but it's even more easier when it's so small. So chain up 3 double crochet, and then chain 2, and then 3 double crochet back into the same one. So you'll do that every time you're turning a corner when it comes to this, when you're on the typical granny square look, which is what you're on right now. And then chain 1, jump to the next corner. Okay. So you're in the next corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. And now you're going to chain 1. Whenever you're going to finish a color, then what happens is that this is the last time that you'll use it. So you're going to put in 3 double crochet. So this is the difference between the last round and this round. So you'll do your 3 double crochet, and because you're finishing up this color and switching to something new, you'll chain 2 and slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3. And then that's it. Okay, so you're just gonna slip stitch, and then you're gonna get rid of that. So I would strongly recommend that you get rid of your tails as you go. It's just easier, and so just pull it through the loop. And the best way to get rid of tails is, I'm just gonna show you with the darning needle. The best way to get rid of it is just to throw it into a darning needle as you're going and doing it. Some people don't like to do it right away, but just throw it through the top section here. Okay, so 1, and it fell off the needle as I did it. No big deal. Throw it back in, and then coming back the other direction, you're gonna go 2, and then finally back in again for the 3rd time. So that allows you to get your hands all hidden in, and then you'll be safe that they'll just never fall out on you, especially if you're giving it as a gift and you get rid of your middle one too. So we're gonna move up to the next section now, and we're gonna do that chain 3 spacing, and this is what separates the colors from each other. So we're gonna do 2 rounds of typical granny, which is what you've done, 1 and 2, and now it's time to throw in that extra special round, and this is what's going to separate the colors out. So I'm just gonna throw in an off-white. I'm gonna make mine kind of Christmassy, and I'm gonna start off in the very corner, and I wanna slip stitch it right into a chain 2 space. So just pull through and through, and I'm gonna chain 1 and single crochet into that same space. So now we're gonna go all the way around. So we're gonna chain 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and then go to the next chain 1 space right here, and I'm just gonna let this fall out of the way, and just single crochet, and then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then come into the next space, which happens to be a corner, and then I'm gonna turn my corner, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then back into the same one. So if you remember when we did typical granny, it was 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. On this round it's 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet. So we're gonna continue around, so chain 3, and then go to the next space, and then chain 3, and then go to the next space. And this is the corner, so chain 3, you can stay in the same corner. Just make sure the corner has at least 2 of them, and then chain 3, and then next space, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next space is a corner, 1, 2, 3, same corner, 1, 2, 3, and then coming back in. Now when we go to and hit that final round that we final starting, so chain up 3 to get there, and in, and as you go to finish this one here, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and you're just gonna slip stitch it to the first single crochet that you started with. Done. Okay, so you'll do that every third round. Okay, so what I would recommend you do then, just throw it through a darning needle again and just hide those in, and then when I come back I'll show you the next 2 rounds, and then just keep showing you what to do. So the next 2 rounds are just going to be something different. So you can have the same colors if you want to. Color is just subjective, but the stitch work is still the same. So you're going to start off right into a chain 2 space right in the corner. So it could be any corner, it doesn't matter. And you're going to join it with a slip stitch, and you're going to chain 2, which counts as a double crochet. And you're going to double crochet 2 more times into that same space. And then chain 1 and keep on moving. So I'm just going to let the straggler fall out. We'll use a darning needle to hide that in later, and then go into the next chain 3 space and fill it in with 3 double crochet. And then chain 1 and then go to the next chain 3 space. See? So that chain 3 space gives a nice good separation between colors. And then chain 1, and the next one happens to be a corner, so the corners are always the same. 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet when it comes to this typical granny square look. So it's only different on the row below. Then chain 1 and keep moving around. So I'll meet you at the end of this round, and then I'll just get you to review one more time, and we'll continue from there. So I'm coming all the way back around to where it started, just continuing along the pattern. It's really quite easy. And then chaining up 1, and now I'm coming into the very final corner to where it started. So I am going to put in my 3 double crochet first, but because this color is not ending, I want to make sure that I'm going to finish it off with a half double crochet that reaches across. So just wrap the hook going into the top of the first chain 2 that we had started with, and then just bring it over. So we're going to continue this color again. So chain up 2, which counts as a double crochet, and then 2 more double crochet into the same space, and then continuing to move around using the same color. So chain 1 and then jump to the next space as you see it over here. So you're just going to continue to round with this round of color as well, and then this color is then done. So chain up 1 and then jump to the next space, and so on. Corners again, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then when I come back I'll be bringing back my white again to show the separation of color, just to verify that you know what you're doing at that particular point. And this is basically how you do this pattern. So let me get you to that point, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So remember, corners, 3 double crochet, 2 chains, 3 double crochet. So I'm coming back around to where it started with on this, and the next one will be the absolute corner where I started. Just filling it in with 3 double crochets, chain 1 spaces. So this is the beginning corner. So because I'm ending in this corner of this color, so I'm going to put in my 3 double crochets first, and then because the color is ending, I'm going to chain 2 and then slip stitch it to the top of the first one that we had started with, and then that's it. So let's get rid of this color again, just fastening off, hide your color, and then I'll be bringing back my white back in to do end the color separation. So let me do that now, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm bringing back my white just to verify that you know what you're doing with this, and then I'm going to do 1 layer of the red, and then I'm going to show you how this blanket ends off at the end. So I'm just doing a miniature here. So I'm just joining with the slip stitch like I had before, and chain 1 and 1 single crochet in here. And the only difference between this time that we did it here and here is that the square is bigger. So chaining up 3, just jump to the next space, and then chain 3, jump to the next space. So there's more spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and then jump, 1, 2, 3, and jump, and then come out to the other corner here. So corners again, they're still the same. So 1, 2, 3, corner, and then 1, 2, 3, same corner. You're going to do that all the way around. Okay, so please do that, and then meet me back here in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way back around. This is where I started clearly, and I'm going to be chaining 3 and then coming back into the same one. So I was reading in the instructions that the final borders, the last 2 rounds that we'll do is the accent color. So the white is the accent color here. So let's finish off this round, and you're going to chain 3 and then slip stitch to the beginning of the single crochet, just like this. So then you're just going to fasten off, and then you'll change your color and do what you already know with the different colors. So I could switch back to red if I wanted to, and all of that. So if you're ready for the final border, what you have to do is that the final border starts in the final accent and it's the same color. So you're still going to want to fasten off so that you can get yourself into the right position for when you're going to do this, and just weave in your ends and get rid of those. And then when I come back, then we'll have that done. Well, in 2 seconds, right? So I'm already done. Gone. So I'm going to bring back my white, and you're thinking, why did you just do that? Well, I can, right? So what I can do for the final, okay, is that I'm going to start with my white, and then I'm just going to slip stitch on, and instead of just being this normal accenting jumping, I want to treat this like a regular granny. So chain up 2, and then I want to put in 2 double crochets. So instead of using the red or the green for what I had been doing for this for the typical granny look, I'm using the white. So chain up 1 and then just jump into the space, just like you see. So go around with what you already know. So it's 3 double crochet in each space, and then it's chain 1 and then going around as you see. So in the corners, remember it's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and when I come back I'll have this round done, and then I'll show you the final round, which is the final border. So as you're coming back around, remember the final corner should get the 3 double crochet, and this, we're gonna treat it like it's a regular one that is not changing the color afterwards. So it's like the one here and the one in here that we just have to worry about half double crocheting across. So half double crochet across, then to the first chain 2. So now we're gonna start off and we're gonna do the final border round. So what we have to do in order to do that is that we are just gonna slip stitch. Okay, so slip and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then come into the same space and slip stitch, and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. So in the group of the 3 double crochets, go into the middle one and slip stitch. If you prefer to double crochet, you can too. I don't know if that'll change the yarn quantity, but that's probably what I would do too. So chaining up 3, go to the next chain 1 space and slip stitch. Okay, so chain up 3, and then this time go to the middle one of the group of the 3 and slip stitch. So chaining up 3, go to the chain 1 space, chaining up 3, go to the middle. So you're gonna do that all the way across, and then when you hit the next corner, it'll be slip stitch in, chain 3, slip stitch in again, and then you continue on in the same manner. So you go to the one in the middle, after that chain up 3, and then into the chain 1 space, and then all the way around. And then when you come back around, just slip stitch to the beginning, slip stitch, and then you're done, weave in your ends, and you're good to go. So this is how you would complete something like this. It's actually really quite easy, and it looks amazing. So this is actually kind of Christmas inspired, just like you see here, and I think that you'll have a lot of fun doing it at the same time. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarn Inspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.